I actually made an in-depth chibi tutorial. You can find it in the description box below if you want a more in-depth tutorial. The brown part of her outfit represents wood of a tree and is also the base of the outfit, and it helps everything connect together, and that's why it's the most important part. It's also tree bark. Instead of making a dress, I decided to go with a skirt. I have made a skirt on a chibi before, and honestly it turned out really cute and I wanted to do it again. I used Spanish Olive by Premo, and I rolled it out on my pasta machine and wrapped it around the body of the chibi, and there ended up being a small gap in the back because I cut it too short, but I hid it with the leaves because you gotta learn how to hide stuff. Now the shoes. To make the shoes, I took the same color green for her skirt and I rolled it into a log, and I made the front part of the shoe pointed so it looks like she has feet. They kind of remind me of elf shoes and I think they're really cute. I did this for both shoes, obviously, because you want them to look similar, but if they don't turn out similar, it's okay because no one's perfect. And I cut both shoes so the top is flat, and I also cut part of her legs off where her shoes are gonna go. I used TLS and wire to secure her shoes on so they don't fall off and they're well on there. Then I take a small dotting tool and I mark where the eyes are gonna go so I don't mess it up. And then once I have it the way I want it, I go in with the larger dotting tool to make the eyes bigger. Next, I add the nose in between the two indents. This is optional, but I think it adds more to the chibi. I'm also adding ears because I think they're kind of cute, and as I said before, it adds more details. Next, I take some pink chalk pastels and I blush her cheeks, the upper part of her nose, and her knees. Then I'm adding her arms, so I'm taking a log of brown clay so it matches her shirt, and I'm cutting that diagonally so it attaches well to her shoulder area. Wires I added in before were bothering me, so I took them out and put the arms on using a lot of TLS. This is also when I added the wood texture, the hands, and the cuff to the sleeve. I made this simple leaf cane in 2 different sizes, and I cut those into thin slices, and then they go on the dress using some TLS so they're secure. Making the hair, I took 2 shades of green and made an ombre. Cutting the sheet into strips and texturing the strands, they were put on the head. I didn't think it looked right while I was making it, and I don't know, I tried different styles thinking that was the problem, but it was actually the color. I decided to try the hair again, and I ripped off her current hair, so now she's bald. I used my blade to clean up the extra leftover pieces from her previous hair, and I cleaned it up with some rubbing alcohol so I have a fresh start. And now I'm covering her head with TLS so the hair that I add on next will be more secure since it's going on some baked clay already. The color I decided to use was Pumpkin by Sculpey Souffle, and it has a lot of contrast, but it's not too bright either, where it's more eye-grabbing, like grabs your attention, because I wanted it to keep in like the dull color scheme that I have. To make the strands, I take a piece of the clay and I roll out each side so it's tapered, and I put it on the head like so. This is what she looks like with the hair, and it looks much better than before. Next up is her headband, and I am just texturing it so it looks like moss. Now I'm making the flowers for her shoes, and they were meant to look like sunflowers, but they actually look like more like black-eyed Susans, and they're just as pretty as sunflowers, so I mean, I'm not complaining. And yeah, I decided to make two, one for each foot, because I can't make them small enough, so I just decided to go with two flowers. Now I'm adding the final details. I'm taking some orange paint and a toothpick, and I'm dotting on the freckles in the areas that I put blush. So I'm putting freckles on her cheeks and some on her legs. Now for some paint on the mushrooms, and finally some glaze for her eyes. This is what the final product looks like. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I will see you all next time. Bye! I decided not to make a skirt. Oh my gosh, I made a skirt.